Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream Park on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Thank God it's Friday for everybody out there. Track is fast, turf is firm, Tapeta is always firm. Samantha Perry joined with Brian Nato here to walk you through this Friday afternoon. And what a nice day today, huh?
Absolutely. Another beautiful day here in South Florida. A lot to look forward to. A big weekend with the Royal Delta tomorrow as well. And first and foremost and front and center, $650,000 in that gross jackpot Rainbow 6. It is getting up there. It kicks off in race 4. Ronnie will be with us in a little bit for the opener, and we'll take a look at his ticket in race 4 as well. And it is going to grow very, very quickly. We got to run the races. It looks a little formful today. We'll see how it all shakes out, but get involved. It is a huge, huge pool looming.
It is, and speaking of huge pools looming, the early pick fives have been tremendous as of late, 100,000, 200,000 in them, and Brian, you have a ticket for us.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. It's $32. We scratched a horse out of the opener in Smart Joker. I added one in. Single in race number 2, Victoria's Chief. We'll take a look at a replay of that one. Coming up, 23 in race number 3, Maybe Lucky and Wild. Hopefully gets loose in there, but that's a tough group to trust. 4 deep. My long shot is Kasim in race number 4. And in the 5th, 54 is the order Elusive Malady in charge account. $32. Some tricky races in that sequence, too.
Yeah, it is. I don't think it's as simple as taking the favorite on the morning line. There is some horses in there that could be a bit of some bombs, but nonetheless, let's get involved in race 1 here. Mile and a 16th on the synthetic or the Tapeta track to kick things off here today, and scratch the 4 out of this in your early favorite, the 6-5 favorite. Straight time for Carlos David.
Yeah, has had some chances, right? 0 for 14, 4 seconds and a third, so a little tough to trust, but only 2 starts with Carlos, and he's been doing such a good job throughout the championship meet. Got to the Tapeta last time, was a good second in a race where the winner ran off that day.
Yeah, and, I kind of saw this a little bit similar to you. I went back and forth between putting the 8 or the 5 on top. Trupia, who when he was in the barn of George Duarte, we called him Tilapia. Yeah. Making his second start of almost a year off.
Yeah. Wasn't in for the tag last time with the waiver, so I think that's a positive. Now drops, but, you can say this probably might have been the spot all along without dipping him in for the 20 last time. I thought he ran fine. He had a little bit of an upside here. He's only 0 for 6. Second off, as Samantha kind of hinted at, the long layoff there. I would expect he runs a little better today, and I got to be honest with you, I don't know how much better he's got to run to maybe get there first against this group.
Yeah, that's the thing, and you'll see him out here in the paddock, Brian. He's just a very big horse. It takes him a while to kind of get things rolling. He gets back to this Tapeta surface here and gets a little bit of an extra distance as well. I think he'll be running late, which is the style that we saw really helping the race as of yesterday. So we'll see how that kind of plays off for him, but I just think the way that the flow has been going, and you do want to bet against an even money right now, it might be a good place to look here.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's a race where that's a major underlay with the body of the field we're talking about.
Race number 2 starts the early pick 4. I have a ticket together. I was 1 away yesterday. I single again. I like ripping the Band-Aid off early. I think this is the logical horse here, as you do as well, and we'll have a replay to back that up. Victoria's Chief. In race number 3, I took a few horses. The number 2, Maybe Lucky and Wild, is my top pick out of that, though. In race number 4, I think that there could be something that will upset this field. I took a few here. I feel like they were all pretty evenly matched, but my long shot is the number 1, Catatumbo. Yeah.
The latter, I think.
Yeah, okay. But first off, the claim for trainer Liz Dobles. We'll see how that fares out. And in race 5 to end the sequence, the number 7 is my top pick, Dim a Wonder. This was a race that I had a lot of trouble with, but going completely against Awesome Indra, who I think will be so heavily bet. 31.50 is my ticket here.
You got about 11 horses in race 4 without my long shot, so.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
We'll bring up a replay. I mean, there's not a lot going on in the replay here, but, Victoria's Chief and Get Cozy are probably the 2 in here. And Victoria's Chief is a 3, Get Cozy is the 1. They finished 7-2-3 in here, okay? So the 7 is going to win, and Shankar was 2-1 and looked at. The runner-up is going to fly from the back. You know, Victoria's Chief got stuck here a little bit. We got to make first run into a pace that's kind of falling apart. The winner was good, but you see the 2 horses get fried here, and, you know, she's got to make first run, and I think in hindsight it probably cost her second. It certainly didn't cost her the win. The winner was good this day, but you're going to see in a second who is it? The runner-up comes flying late. I felt Get Cozy ran okay, but I really just want Victoria's Chief out of this race. Big pedigree for this horse. The Dam was a Grade 1 winner up at Woodbine, and then a Talma. And I feel like she puts her best foot forward. He does, excuse me, puts his best foot forward today. And I think that'll be too much for this group.
Yeah, I think it really could. And it doesn't have to be a massive improve off of that effort in order to seal the deal. In second off the Woodbine start, that's a thing that I think is a very nice way to play. And getting a start over this track, these horses coming from Palm Meadows, I'm not a huge fan with their fitness levels coming into this. I think they need a run over the track as far as horses coming from Palm Beach Downs or here locally. So this is a horse that is going to be very solid in this spot. And we already saw Get Cozy, so no use in talking about that one. But the number 2, Vanishing Interest, if this horse wins today, this will be the first winner on the grass, first time turf for Personal Interest.
Oh, that's good to know. Interesting. He's not impossible. I would think Irad put some speed in this horse. That could be dangerous. We haven't talked about the race flow yet. I don't know if there is other speed in here, but we know Irad can be aggressive, and he's got a horse stretching out off one-turn dirt for him. Gustavo Delgado is sharp, and he puts his horses in good spots. I don't necessarily know if there's a lot of turf in here, and you kind of hinted it might not be.
Yeah, that's why I liked the 1 a little bit, Crow Motion. I thought that Lionel Reyes has to send from this 1 post here. Didn't set the quickest fractions up front, but did get the first couple of calls, so we'll see.
20-1 on the morning line, that's right in Lionel's wheelhouse, because
perfect,
he's been so good at booting long shots home, a lot of them on turf, a lot of them on the engine too.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes in a race where there could be a big upset, but we're hoping for the number 3, Victoria's Chief here. In race 3, we're scratching the 1 out of this race. I was completely against this horse from the beginning. 6 furlongs is the distance on winners of 3, lower level claimers, and I hope you didn't have the 1 at all, did you?
I had the underneath.
Okay.
I always had maybe Lucky and Wild on top. This is a take as deep a breath as you can, hold it, and hope she lasts, because she has been dreadful of late at 5-2 and 6-1, by the way. She wasn't 35-1. I expect her to be loose in here. That's probably not a bad thing against this group.
Yeah, not at all. I think as far as these lower level claimers, it's hard to catch horses on the lead here. I feel like just at least from those past 2 days of dirt racing we've had here, Brian, the speed has really just played to the advantage here, and this is a horse that Jose Ortiz has to go, and like you said, hold our breath and hope for the best.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, now Muguruza is to her outside, and on her day, she's going to win this race. She was just not good last time. She was supposed to be loose and controlling, and they went 47-4, and she had to work really hard to do it, and she was done entering the far turn. This is a tough group to get a real firm handle on.
Yeah, I think that maybe Lucky and Wild is hopefully lucky and not wild today here in race 3. We've got a quick break. When we come back, it will be Rainbow Six time, Ronnie's favorite time of the day. We've got his ticket, and he will be with us a little bit later.
This is a championship meet. All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He has to touch this magnificent colt.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Samantha Perry joined with Brian Nato, taking you through this Friday card in beautiful Hallandale Beach, Florida. Race 4 is where we're picking up, and it is Rainbow 6-time. Ronnie's got a ticket put together, and I'll let you explain it.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll try it. 3240. He's got the single as the anchor. That's a good one. Don't forget now, $650,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee. It's not easy to start in race 4, 3 deep in race 5. He's got a 3x3x3x3 kind of pick 4 to kick off this card. And there are some tricky races. Race 6, I think, is one of them. Race 7 is interesting too, the state breds. And then I think, I don't want to guarantee it, the late double, we talked about this yesterday, seems mighty chalky. I think Ronnie has got certainly West Bank is going to be everybody's anchor.
Right.
Probably going to be about 3 to 5 in that spot. Certainly looks it on paper. Self-Made is my best bet of the day in race 8 on a pretty stiff drop for Marty Drexler, who might just be ready to catch fire a little bit after winning a few races now. Kind of a slow start, at least for Marty, to the meet. So 3240 for Ronnie. He'll be out here with me in race 1 to kind of get through this early part of the card. And there it is, some coverage early and a little more condensed late. And I think just as an overall kind of point of discussion, that's probably the way to play this card today.
Yeah, I agree completely. You could look other ways at the end of the card, but they just seem like races where you can take a stand, and just to be able to afford a ticket, you should probably take a stand. Otherwise, you'll be very deep and possibly not get a very high reward. In this race here, though, this is the race where your long shot comes out of, and I don't have on my ticket, so let's hear it.
Well, Kasim is the 2, stretching out, and the form hasn't been great of late, but we've already talked about it today. Being in front on the turf, I think especially routing is just never a bad thing. Jose Ortiz, now it's not a big sample, but Anthony Margata, I know you know him. He's a sharp guy, and he's ridden Jose 3 times. He's won with him twice. So to me, maybe there's a little intent here. 8 might be a reach on this horse. I would take 5 to 1 on this horse. You should not have to look hard to find him. To me, he's loose and controlling. And then we'll just take our shot if you can see out a mile. And it's a big question mark because they're all one-turn races on his page. Well, let's try to get loose in here.
Yeah, a couple of Jersey boys coming out of this. We've got Jack Abrams, who's got the 9, Drillmatic, who you've got a little bit lower. My comment on this horse last time was just needs cheaper, and he's getting it today.
I mean, if he wants to run an 82 buyer today, he's going to win by 3 lengths. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I just don't trust it. Don't know where it came from. We'll just see. But I'm not playing a serious ticket without him. I'll say that.
Yeah, the number 1 here, we've actually got a trainer stat on trainer Liz Dobles here. First off the claim, she's 7 for 25, 28 win percentage, $2.32 return on investment here. And Kelsey Danner had this horse. Kelsey Danner also had a win yesterday. This is a barn that Kelsey Danner's barn has been hot lately. I think if Liz Dobles can kind of just keep this horse in form, it should get a piece of it.
It's very rare to see Liz and John Canary make bad claims, not the right word, claims that aren't effective, put it that way. And this is a type of spot that coming in off a win in a 2L, maybe you think, oh, that's not a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. We're down inside. We draw well here. Has a win now on the local turf course. I think this horse is a player in here.
Yeah, this is a race where there's going to be a lot of chaos possibly. The number 5, Jack the Cat, you don't have it all, but I think Irad was my biggest attraction to this horse here.
No, I think that's fair, and got back to the turf last time and ran very well, again, with a figure that there's no speed in this horse, and that's a worry. Regardless of if you like my horse or not, you're just not seeing horses loop from the back, you know, especially routing. That's not really a path to victory, so maybe a kicker underneath, but to get there first, might be a little big, might be a big ask, and 3 to 1 on the line, and I don't
Right.
really disagree with that. Point being, it's IRAD. He's going to be bet too.
Yeah, and just check out the board as
Yes.
well. That will be very helpful, especially kicking off this Rainbow Six. It'll be good to kind of see where the money's going. Race number 5 is the late pick 5. I have a ticket together for us, starting off with a 7 furlong, claiming $35,000. I need the 1 and the 3 to kick off my first 3 legs here. That's an interesting pattern. Race 6, the number 1 is my top pick, Bosque Redondo. Chad Brown, I was not on the right side of him at all yesterday, winning 2 Tapeta
Twice,
races.
right?
Yeah, that was interesting. Now he's on the grass, so hopefully let's go paint it white and see if he'll win that one.
Yeah, not often you're going to get that barn at big prices, and
you did yesterday.
And you did, and I think you and I were on the set. He was something like 34 or 5% on the all-weather surface, and that's ticked up probably pretty darn close to 40% now. So, shame on us, I guess.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm ending things on the pick 5 with a single. I think that's just the logical horse there. Yeah, the ticket went away, so that's that. Race 5 here, 7 furlongs. It's a tricky distance, and I thought that the speed was going to be interesting here, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, you can see our picks here, and just to kind of go back with Samantha's ticket, if you're in the Rainbow for that matter, you need to get some value in these early races because I don't think you're going to get it late. And you saw her ticket and Ronnie's ticket for that matter, singling at the end. Yeah, you know, it is a Demo Wonder did well to draw outside the speed. There's others in here, but it's Rohan and Irad, and you would think this one's got a big chance.
Yeah, and this is a fast mare. Awesome Indra is faster. I was kind of worried that maybe the 7 and the 6 will team up in a speed duel, but I read smarter than that, and I think that he might sit off of it a bit. Awesome Indra, this is a horse that does not pass horses hardly at all, especially at the second call. So if she's on the lead by then, I think that you might be finished with that. And this has been a really popular mare at the claim box as well. She's been claimed quite a few times. One of my friends, Derby Glass, used to gallop her when Kelly Breen had her, and she said she was tricky, very tricky. And Kelly kept reclaiming her back. I know she was not excited about that. But who's going to close, and can anyone close?
Well, that's the question. I'm reaching a little bit with Elusive Molly because I do feel like, you know, there is speed in here. And listen, we know Awesome Indra's fast, but she's not doesn't have a lot of starch in the stretch. She's had open length leads late and given them up both times, and maybe that's where Demo Wonder takes over in the right spot. I agree with that. You know, the wild card I've gotten second, you didn't put her anywhere, is Charge Account, who I don't know where she's going to be, quite honestly, early, because she's coming out of route races where, excuse me, hasn't necessarily been showing any speed. She is 4 for 10 on our main track. I think that's significant. I put her underneath. Fausto Gutierrez. He's not winning races, and it's we haven't seen that before. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a meltdown race. I just thought, you know, there is speed in here. You're just strong silence down inside, too. It's a lot of speed.
Yeah, definitely could. A huge drop as well for this horse, in for 35 now, and she looked for a little bit earlier in her career like she was going to be something, but so lightly, only 5 races for a 5-year-old. That's a little suspicious.
Yeah, I don't want her at all, but I do think, because she came back last time with her speed.
Right.
And I think that's significant because I don't want her in this race, but to me, she still looks fast enough. She kind of has to go from down there.
Right.
Point being, she's still fast enough to cause major issues for Awesome Indra and potentially Demo Wonder. So I think they're going to go at it pretty good in here.
And she had a tightener, too.
Yeah,
that 6 furlong distance, I think it was more the condition, not so much the distance of entering her here. And Dale Romans is a sharp guy.
Yeah.
This is a filly or a mare, I should say, that does like this 7 furlong distance. And it's a tricky one. We'll see who kind of grits it out here. The 5th race is a very tough one to start things in the late pick 5. Race 6, a maiden special weight on the grass, 1 mile, and pick 4 duty, Brian.
Yeah, we won't have to spend a lot of time on this one for $4. I mean, it's kind of that. We talked about it. We'll go 4 deep here. We got a replay of Guaranteed Spec as well. Replay of Awesome Anne Marie, too. I thought ran very, very well in race 7, and certainly Sonicus down to the inside. And then there's your $5 late double. I think my best bet of the day, Self-Made from Marty on the drop. And then, again, if West Bank could be 1-5 in that race. Let's just be honest. There's nowhere else you can go with any sort of confidence, and he seems to be. She seems to be okay with the race behind her, especially too. I mean, she's heck to pay in there.
This race here, race number 6, to kick off things, guaranteed spec you've got a replay of, so I'll let you go ahead and kick it off with that.
Yeah, we're coming out of a 1.5-mile race, too. So,
right.
you know, you don't want to be ranking inside a little bit and fighting a little bit. And you're going to see, we're going to double replay here. You're going to see he's in tight and kind of, I thought this horse had a little run. You're going to watch it get shuffled a little bit, entering the far turn as kind of the real running starts to begin here. The 1 is looping to the outside, hitting bombs. He's going to get shuffled back, but I thought, this is Luca, I thought he had a pretty good hold here, and there's just nothing going on. He can't really get up in there. 1.5 miles, too, and I thought now we're still going to have a little traffic, and what's going to happen here off the far turn and in mid-stretch, we're going to go get, I don't know if we dive inside or we get forced or it kind of gravitates toward the inside. I still thought this filly had a little run. And don't forget, now she's by a Breeders' Cup Mile winner in Caratanti. He doesn't want to run 1.5 miles, or
no.
she doesn't either, I don't think. Now we cut back. We go from 12 to 8. I think she's interesting in here. She's 8 on the line. I mean, nobody else in here overwhelms this field either. I'll take a shot.
Yeah, and coming back fairly quick as well. So this must be a horse that they just kind of run the fitness in him. And, you know, I think with a race like this, you're going to get the 1 bet quite a bit, and you're going to get the 5 bet quite a bit. But anybody betting the 5, I just urge you to go watch the replay. This horse, and, you know, I give credit to Joe Orsino. When this horse made its first start here from Santa Anita, I showed the replay at Santa Anita of him coming down the stretch. He was just skimming the paint the whole time. Did the same thing in December here, and then last time, poor Paco as well. I mean, this horse looked like he was going to be the winner, but just was lugging in the whole time. Joe Orsino, he put the right equipment on. He had a Houghton on, blinkers. I mean, this horse was decked out and them trying to avoid this, but he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, I mean, my note says it right there. Try lugging in the entire stretch. He would have been a lot closer. I don't know if he would have won or not. That's part 1. Now part 2, and maybe it's a byproduct of part 1. He's 0 for 9 with 500th finishes, too. I mean, tread very, very lightly here.
The number 1, Bosco Redondo, you know, they took this horse to Tampa for his first out, which is normal for the Chad Brown barn as of the recent years. It was an okay effort. This horse was bet down incredibly in that debut. 3 wide first turn, 3 wide second turn. You know, I think it'll be a better effort this time around.
Yeah, I think he's interesting. You know, Chad runs horses at Tampa. He runs a lot of horses at Tampa. Now he's shipping across the state for $84,000. I didn't like the debut. He didn't run very well, but I think, you know, when you got a horseman like this that's picking spots like this, I think you better take notice. IRAD is here for Peter Brandt. I can't believe long term is 7 to 5. What do you do with him? Try and turf.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Curlin's first time on the grass. I do have an interesting stat, though, to show on Chad Brown very quickly. When he's adding blinkers on horses on the grass with maiden special weights, 9 for 38. 24% seems a bit higher than the actual just 9 for 38 move here. So that's not his strongest move, maiden special weights on the grass the last 5 years. So it'll be interesting. It's a nice race. We'll see how they look out in the paddock as well, or on the grass course. Race 7, a late pick 3, 6.5 furlongs is the distance here. We'll take out the number 7, Forbidden Dream, and we both are on the 3, Awesome Anne Marie.
Well, we'll show the replay then. That's good because, you know, she ran well last time, and there's a lot going on. Check out the start, first and foremost. She was just blatantly unprepared for it and wasn't ready for it.
Right.
They're off, you lose. Okay, that's that kind of thing. And again, we've talked about this a lot. She's a $20,000, you know, state bred. It's tough to do this and have any significant impact. But here she is now. She's going to be 5th in this race, beaten 2 lengths. But watch how wide she is. I had her 8-9 wide in my notes, and she tried to run on the entire length of the stretch. I mean, she's not, she likes winning races, and, you know, she's not a world beater, and, you know these horses well. A lot of times they call it a day when that happens.
Right.
all things considered, she's going to bop into your picture now. I thought all things considered, she's going to float way out wide here. She ran well. Again, she's beaten 2 lengths in this spot.
Exactly.
Just break with the field today, and we'll take our chances, right?
Yeah, and that was a not the best post position, even for a 6-year-old horse. Sometimes, I mean, horses, they break towards daylight. I say that time and time again, and she gets drawn in a little bit cozier this time. I think that will help quite a bit. The number 1, Sonicus, this horse is no question of tactics. It's speed.
Yeah, without a doubt, Safi and Edgard Zayas, and you look at the race 2 back where she wired 35 2Ls, and she'll be in front in here, and I don't know if anybody's got her sprint speed in here either, so they're going to have to catch her.
Yeah, they will. The 6 Gitana, this horse kind of looks interesting as far as speed goes, but I just feel like the 1 has a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, and well, you see where we picked 2 a T. Can she win? Yeah, but I think she can win without Samantha and I, because I go 8 deep in my PPs, and I don't see a W on her page.
Yeah, and you keep playing the Orlando Notice horses too, and keep getting beat. So I see you sign the divorce papers. That's fine. It's about time, but it's okay. Race 8 here, 1 mile on the grass. Scratch the number 1, Doobie Doobie, and this is an interesting race because I feel like they're so evenly matched here, Brian, but we did land on the same horse here, Self-Made.
I think they're evenly matched on paper and on figures, but this horse now takes for the body of this race, this is a huge class drop. Coming out of a 25 starter for Marty Drexler. Now, to be fair, he didn't do any running at all that day. The winner, Not Far Now, was really good. Marty, I mentioned earlier, winning races. Irad is here. Marty's got a couple in here with the 3 Durs Kill, but this is a huge drop. And let's just be honest, the 16s that are in here, the house horses, they don't scare me either.
I like that, house horses. Yeah. That's and second start off of the Woodbine angle.
Yep.
So already has a tightener, gets Irad. It's going to be a solid horse here. Gospel Way, I felt, was interesting, and you don't have him picked in the top 4, but blinkers go on. Kevin Attard gets a nice rider switch to Jose Ortiz here, and second start off the Woodbine angle.
Well, we've talked about it quite a bit, and it has played out. You know, these Woodbine horses with a different layout, not only on the Tapeta, but certainly the turf course. If you've ever been up to Woodbine, that great turf course, huge, expansive turf course, they need a run. They typically do. Blinkers going on is interesting, too, because I don't see a heck of a lot of pace in here. There's horses that want to be close.
Right.
But maybe if Jose wants to take the initiative, maybe this horse gets brave in here.
Yeah, he definitely could. Just second start here at Gulfstream. Has his wheels under him now. We'll see how that plays out. In race 9, maiden optional claimers going 7 furlongs here. And the number 6, West Bank. This is a horse that if he just breaks, she should be okay.
Yeah, I just, you know, it's twofold. She's, well, there's many different reasons. She's the best horse.
Right.
She was in her debut last time, so she's only going to get better. And I don't care who you're telling me you're coming up with. I just don't really see significant upside for any of them. Maybe Aaron's Moment, you know, moving forward for Gustavo, but Lasix comes off today. So, you know, blinkers came off last time. I don't see it. Mystify on the drop, okay, I get that, but to me, it's named the score time for West Bank.
Yeah, I think that Mystify might be the only one that scares me a bit here, just due to the fact that Connect is just a much better, a more productive sire on the dirt. So, you know, but this is a race where you either just have to go against the 6 West Bank completely or just go down with West Bank.
Yeah, and the other problem, too, is to kind of picking up what you just said. If it's not West Bank, who is it? I wouldn't be confident. I'd have to use the rest of the field.
Exactly.
I'm certainly not going to do that. I'm sure there's probably clever rainbow players or on putting a big number in that are going to buy this race and hope that she loses. But sometimes you got to just take what they give you.
Right.
This is not a spot where I'm looking to beat a heavy favorite.
Yeah, and it's don't overthink it, I think, in this last race here, and hopefully you're still alive by then. But we're not done yet. We've got our lightning round and kicking things off. Tomorrow is Saturday, which means it is coast to coast pick 5.
Yeah, so a couple races at Gulfstream, and normally we've been doing the 3-pack. So we got 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. I just taped with Jeremy Plonk and Jeff Siegel. So we got a little preview video for that. It's been well received. The $1 minimum, 15% takeout. So it's a pretty good. It's a pretty good play for the players. No pun intended, because that $1 minimum I think can enhance your payoff a little bit.
Yeah, it can, and it's been paying quite well as of late, in the thousands, so make sure to get involved. We'll remind you tomorrow as well, but kicks off in race 3 at Santa Anita tomorrow. 3 from Santa Anita, 2 from Gulfstream, and tomorrow we've got the Royal Delta, and I know Ron is so excited about Kathleen O, but I'm excited about Classy Edition.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I don't want to knock Kathleen O. She's so good, but I was wowed by Classy Edition's comeback win, and she has an edge on Kathleen O, at least on the racetrack in terms of running style. I think she's in a good spot tomorrow.
And 5-2 was an absolute gift on her that day. I mean, that was like free money in my opinion. So that was nice, and that she was also my best bet that day. But best bet today, Brian?
Race 8, self-made for Marty Drexler.
I believe mine is West Bank in the 9th. Yes, West Bank 7-5. It just seems like the logical horse, not very creative. They are long shot.
Kasim, race 4, the 2 horse should be the speed in there under Jose Ortiz. We'll see. We'll go from there.
Mine is Catamundo, I believe. Yep, or Catatumbo in race 4. So both have long shots in that one. And tomorrow. You're up,
beat
Brian.
the expert. I will not do any worse than I did last time. I promise you that. It's not possible. But it's a good card tomorrow. 12 races, and as Samantha said, and I followed up with, we headline it with the Royal Delta and 2 fillies that I think have every right to be major players in a division that's probably, through attrition of last year, it's still in the form of sorting itself out. I'm excited to see Classy Edition and Kathleen O go at it tomorrow.
It will be a lot of fun. Make sure to sign up for that. As far as us, we will be with you throughout the day, as well as Claudia, as well as Ron. Gang is all here, and it's a beautiful Friday afternoon. Thank you for joining us, and we will be back in a bit. But Pete Aiello will go up with the scratches and the changes. Good luck.